Hi, I'm Barry.
And I'm Maxine.
I'm 58 years old and today is the first day of retirement. So join us in today's vlog and I will tell you how, through my career, I managed to be able to retire at 58 to our house here in Orlando, Florida.
Are we at the end or are we at the start? 129 beats per minute from my heart. Anywhere with you is where I long to roam. Night or day, I'm taking you all the way. 'Cause my heart screams, let me carry you home.
So I'll do our normal intro. Hey up, it's Theme Park Bazza.
Mrs. Bazza.
And welcome to our home in Orlando and today's vlog, where we will be talking, because day one is today's my first day of retirement.
Yay!
Yes, so we're going to talk a little bit through this vlog about what enabled us to do that today through my 42-year working career. Some of the things may be applicable to you. You can use those ideas and concepts or things that we did. But again, it spans my whole career. As of today, we have no money coming in. Zero money. We are living off our savings. Apart from, we have a YouTube channel called Theme Park Bazza, and the only savings we have coming in are the adverts, just like this. Right, we're good now, Max. We can buy coffee.
Go Starbucks
And get coffee. So yes, we are living off our savings now. 58 years old. If you know about America, where we're living, you can get your sort of social security from the government at 62. Sorry, 62. Yeah. Medicare at 65. They're the two big ones. So we're going to have to bridge a gap between now and then. And these are the 5 things that we've done to help us bridge that gap. Just a few minutes ago, I was in the other room packing up. They sent me a box from work to put my equipment in to send it back, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, laptop and phone and all that stuff. And my work's pass, where I look so young.
Well, it's probably taken quite a few years ago.
It was about 7 years ago that photo was taken. But yes, are we ready? Yes. And this is how we got ready. So let's get started. So number 1 is pensions. Pensions are very important. When I started my career, I started work at 16. How old were you? You were about 16 as well, yes? Or did you go to college?
No, I started, I think I was 18 when I first started work.
Yeah, I just went straight into work as an apprentice, a craft apprentice at Rolls-Royce in Barnoldswick. And it was a union shop, and the first thing that in my first paycheck there was money taken out for a pension, and I was having a big argument because I'm like, I'm 16, why should I be paying a pension? And my advice to you is pay your pension as soon as you can, because over those 40 years that money that accrues and the interest and the savings that you get through that is what allows you to be able to retire early. That's one of the big things. So you were paying pensions in, I was paying pensions in. I think I've had 7 jobs, and I think through 2 phases of my jobs I was self-employed, but I still had a pension. And I think we got you a pension in the UK with a co-op. Yes. It isn't worth a lot.
Not a lot, but it's a bit.
It's a bit, but when you've got zero money coming in, apart from, no, I won't do it again, then every penny counts, because it all comes in. So start saving as soon as you can. I also, and some of my longer jobs, I had one at 10 years and one at 15, 16 years, I even paid in AVC's advanced voluntary contributions on top of my normal pension to try and get extra money in there. But then, you can't do that all the time. There were times in our life, like when we moved here to the US, when we were pretty strapped for cash that first year. We only came for a year to see how it would go, and that first year we were really tight. So I actually backed off I didn't stop, but I backed off my pension contributions significantly. Because in the US here, like if you put 4% in from your salary, the company matches it, and sometimes they'll do up to 8%. But I think I cut that right back to 2% because we couldn't afford paycheck to paycheck. No. We couldn't afford. So never ever do that if it's impacting you know, we're just trying to live. But if you find yourself in a position where you've got some extra cash, putting it into a pension is a good idea. And if it's just like a small amount every week that you put in, it does accrue over time. And when we came here to the US 20 years ago, I kind of brought all my pensions over, and I'll talk about that in another one of the 5 points in the future, what we did around that. But I kind of kept bringing everything with us. Yeah. Now, I was lucky as well when we came to the US, and I was with GE, they had a pension scheme. So I am getting like a monthly pension, will get a monthly pension from when I'm 62. So we still got to survive the time between now and 62.
4 years.
4 years living off our savings, which are primarily coming from those pension contributions. Now that you know the pensions, you can tap into them for emergency cash. We've tried to avoid that for doing that, and that kind of leads us on to point number 2, which is no debt. We've kind of lived our lives as northerners.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
can't
I'm
have
looking
credit
for.
card debt.
What am I looking for?
Frugal.
Frugal. That's it. Tight.
Frugal. Tight.
Northerners, and we managed to get through. Now, obviously, we have had debt in our lives. There's no way you can buy a house. There's no way you can get cars unless you get into debt. I mean, that's just
It's part of life,
fantasy island unless you're a millionaire, and we're not. So yeah, when I say no debt, I mean it was things like you say, like credit cards.
Credit cards.
If we couldn't afford to buy it, we didn't buy it. And I think I was instilled in that when I was a kid. I know I had a paper round.
I was as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If we didn't have the money, you didn't buy it.
Yeah, I had a paper round, and I know I used to get 20p a week, and I used to go up to the toy shop, Donald's, up on Frank Street, and I used to buy a toy like me Space 1999 Interceptor, and they put it on the top shelf.
Just so you could see it?
Yeah, it was £2, and he'd bring it down, and I pay him 20p a week, and he'd let me see it and look at it in the box, and he'd put it back up again.
Yeah.
And I used to go in and pay it off. Like with catalogues, wasn't it? You pay it off,
yeah,
and then when you paid it off, you got it.
Yeah.
So we've never really been into loans unless we've had to.
Only when we've had to.
When we've had to, and sometimes you have.
Yeah.
You know, we had to get the cars. We've had 3 or 4 houses.
Yeah.
But we did get to the point with houses. We that's another tip really, is sort of get a house as early as you can afford it in your life, because we got ours when we were 25. I was 25. You're a little bit younger than me. Max isn't 58 yet.
No,
so,
I am not.
Yet.
Yet.
But yeah, so we bought that, and then we rolled one house into the next house, into the next house. Equity into the next one, into the next one, into the next one. And we were very lucky when we moved here 4 years ago. Was it 3 years? 4 years we've been in this house.
4 years.
4 years we bought this house.
No, 3 years we've been in this house.
3 years. We moved
4
down
years
from Virginia. Virginia 4 years ago. We
Yeah.
sold our house in Virginia, and we bought this house and paid cash, because it was a lot less expensive than our house in Virginia back then. We had some money left over to pay off the mortgage that we had, and we'd renegotiated mortgages in Virginia to get lower interest rates as well. Hadn't we, to cut it down. Also with cars, when we got loans, we tried to pay a bit extra. We always got a loan you could pay off more quickly, and we try and pay a little bit extra. So if we got a loan for 7 years, we try and pay it off in 3, because it's really the interest you're paying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Over time. And same with mortgages. We remortgaged a couple of times and made for a shorter mortgage, like from a 20 to a 15, or a 15 to a 10.
Yeah.
Just to be able to save on the interest.
Yeah, you do pay a little bit more every month.
But you do pay less overall.
Yeah.
So we were very lucky when we came down here to be able to not have a mortgage on this house, and that's a big deal in us being able to retire at 58, because for the last 4 years, 3 years we've been in this house, we've been able to spend money on renovations and things like that, using the money that we would have spent on the mortgage. We didn't take that money and go do 10 round the world trips. We kept that money saved, because you used to put in away every month, and so we did that, and then that's paid for a lot of the things that we've done on the house. So I think that was everything on the second one, on no debt. Again, you can't always not be in debt, but be in as little debt and pay it off as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You're better if you've got some money to pay off your credit card debt more quickly.
The credit card debt's the big one.
Yeah, that's the big one. Yeah, and
it adds up very quickly, and you don't realise.
Yeah, and you can get sucked into a spiral there where your payments just keep growing and growing, and you're using any extra money you have just to do the payments. And there are financial people who can help you refinance if you get into that kind of problem. We don't have any expertise in that, but there are financial people who can help. And that takes me on to point 3, which is get a good financial planner. If you're looking to retire at whatever age, get a good financial planner. We got our first one in 2015 or 2013 in Virginia, and they were not very good. There was a big, large company, I won't name them, and they helped us move all our pensions from the UK over to the US, or into a holding, an offshore holding. Needless to say, I'm sure we've all been through it. It was bad advice. We got bad advice, recognised actually by the government, because they were actually taken to court, and I think I got a payout of a whole $4,000 in payback. But for 7 years, when they'd taken our money, and invested it in the stock market, and the market was growing, we were losing money. So it really was, and I wasn't the only. And it's a little hard when you're somebody from England coming to the US, because you're kind of having to deal with the UK system, the US system, international money systems. It's very, very complicated, and if you make a mistake, it can be very expensive. So we kept these people for till around 2000, and there was me and a few others who were working with the same company, and then we managed to find a new company, and they were very good, and I've been working with them since 2000. And what they do is they manage our assets, and I work with them. We have meetings a couple of times a year to review the portfolio and what's happening. And again, they took that pension money, and long story short, that particular pension scheme, not pension, offshore scheme I was in, turned out the US government decided it was being abused, and decided to say that it was no longer to be classed as a pensions holding fund, which meant it was taxable. So let's just say in 2022, we had a whole thing working with this company. I was paying international lawyers and this company, and having to get letters written to the IRS and pay all my taxes and move. And basically, I got all the money moved over here to the US, but we lost a lot of the money. But we still managed to make it work. What I'm trying to say is, we haven't had it easy.
No.
We've had it easy, but there's been downsides as well, like life.
Yeah.
We've been living life, and things have been happening. So we got the money over here, and the first thing this company did, when you get a planning company, is they gave me a spreadsheet to fill out our living costs, didn't they?
Yeah.
They said,
What do we spend every month?
what do you spend every month, and what do you want to do when you retire? This is when we talk about retirement planning. You have to think about, what do I want to do, and where do I want to live?
Where you want to be.
Yeah, and basically we took these spreadsheets. We've been living in the house a year then, so we could work out how much living here would cost us a year for the same standard of living. And it's things like your music apps, your internet, your phone, your food, theme park tickets, cars, maintenance on the house, maintenance on the kids. Basically, it's a lot of lines in a spreadsheet. But I went to the online. Everything we do is online, so I went to the banks and pulled all that out and put it in there, and that helped us understand what kind of budget we would need. Because when you're living to a budget, first thing you got to know is the budget.
Yes.
You can't control what you can't measure, and you have to know what your budget is. So we did that, and it's a living document. I updated it this January, because prices have gone up from 2 years ago when I first did it. So it's a living document. But what they do is they give you data to give you confidence to make a decision, because they're looking at the risks, and they're looking at the pros and the cons and what might happen, and they have all these financial models. But what they do is give you the confidence, but also offer services to maintain your 401ks or pensions and savings, and they have tools that track all your savings in the bank and what you're spending. So I'll use those actually from today. So I'll be measuring what I spend and what we've got saved, to be able to track it and see that we are on plan. And the plan I made with them is, not to be able to. They know about my pensions at 62, and obviously Social Security at 65, and yours at 65. And so that's all worked into the plan. So you have to pay. I think they charge you a percentage, but it's worth the money.
Yeah, it's a lot less stressful for you as well, trying to figure it all out and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. I've always said in life, pay professionals for doing things that are better than you are. Like
the smarter people.
Smarter people. Like when we had trees taken down in Virginia. I could take them down, but they were a lot smarter than me and not getting hurt.
Yeah.
And they were doing it. Fixing a car. I used to be able to fix cars when they had carburetors and things, but I couldn't fix a car now. I have to go to the garage and get smarter people who have the computers that can do it. So it's the same sort of thing. You will save money. It's like doing your taxes.
Yeah.
You will save money if you can find somebody to help you. Finding good people is hard. If anybody is here in the US and you are an expat and you're looking for a company to help you, let me know. I will put you in contact with who I use, and you can evaluate if you think they are useful to you as well. So that was number 3, which was financial planning. So we're already up to number 4, which is make a plan. Now you said, well, Barry, you just talked about retirement planning. No, I'm talking about the big plan. And we started planning 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
It was about 2000 when we started coming to holiday in the US, and we decided we'd like to try and live here. That wasn't a retirement plan there.
No.
It was like, we moved in 2005, but I would say 2010 is when we started. So 2010, I would have been 45. So I was 45 then. Is that right? Is that math right? 2005, 40, yeah. 45 is when I really started seriously planning retirement. And what I mean is, what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Where do I want to be? Now, we weren't really sure, but you kind of filter in, don't you? Come with some big ideas. The ideas were, we like warm weather.
We like it nice and warm. We do not like the snow.
You don't like snow.
I don't like the snow.
So that was kind of giving us a geographical belt of where we wanted to be. We decided to become US citizens and UK citizens to give us some flexibility on where we wanted to go. Some of the other things we thought of, we came to Florida. We both like roller coasters. Always have liked roller coasters.
That was one of the main things as well.
It's theme parks. We were coming down here to Florida 4 times a year.
3 or 4 times.
And Christmas, every Christmas, really to ride the roller coasters. Hence the name of the YouTube channel. And so roller coasters were a big thing in our plan. And I remember you and I sort of thinking maybe in 2010, around that time, we even sort of said, what if we did retire in Florida?
Yeah.
Would it be like to kind of go to the theme park, even if we couldn't go on the ride?
But that was just like a
dream.
It was a dream.
It's like that's what you do, though. You dream, and that becomes,
dream.
you form those into plans.
Yeah.
We were saying, like, we could go for walks in the morning around the parks.
Yeah.
Not even go on the rides, just go in the parks.
Yeah.
Get the theme park buzz. If it was so hot where we were living, we could go in a air-conditioned mall and walk around in the mall and have a coffee and a cake, or go to the theme park and have a coffee and a cake. I'm seeing the thread here.
Yeah.
Coffee and a cake. Coffee and a cake. It comes into it. Donuts, Joffrey's donuts. But yeah. But so we kind of were thinking about it, and we funneled it down that we kind of came to the point probably in 2015, so 10 years from retirement, that 10 years not quite from retirement, when I was 50, that we really wanted to go for Florida.
Yeah.
And we would have been here sooner.
We would have been here 4 years earlier.
Yeah, but like everything else, like you and everybody, life gets in the way. We had some other things that happened in our lives that kind of had to postpone that for another 3 or 4 years.
4 years.
Before we came down here. So we may have pulled the trigger on coming down to Florida sooner. Because what we wanted to do is, about 5 years before we retired, we wanted to be there, wherever we wanted to be. We wanted to get a house. We wanted to get the house sorted, and we wanted to have everything sort of organised, like a funneling down to a point. If this is the point of retirement, you come backwards to all the things that have to be done to hit that point, and that was to have somewhere to live, have a job, have money, which we talked about before earlier on, have our health hopefully, and other things. And so I would advise you to do the same. And if you don't know what you want to do, those where retirement planners really come in.
Yeah.
The financial plan, because they help you. They kind of give you the options. They're working with hundreds of other people like you, and can give you ideas of what you want to do and what other people have done. Some people might want to go to Portugal or to Spain or France and get a villa or whatever you want to do. But the fact is, have a plan and try and execute to that plan. And you're going to deviate, like we did for 4 years. You're going to move around. We're not living where we thought we'd live. When I say that, in the area, we're better than we thought we would be, but it's not where we planned. So you have to give and take in the plan. And so in 2020, now luckily for me with my job, when I worked as an independent in the UK, I work from home.
Yep.
And in my job since 2017, I've worked from home before it was a thing with COVID.
Yeah.
So we kind of knew that we could work from home and have be geared up to do that, which was important to us. And also then when 2020 came, we took the opportunity to relocate down here. We finally had the money to move. Well, because we had to sell the house.
Yeah.
And come down here.
We were lucky.
And managed to rent the first year.
Because we didn't really know which area we wanted to be in, did we? So we were lucky enough to be able to rent for a year, till we could have a look around and see what the prices were and what condition the houses were in and things like that. And the airport, how close to the airport do you need it to be? Where the aeroplanes went over the top of you, which was most of the time in Orlando. But yeah, it was it was a year of looking and preparing, wasn't it? Basically?
Yeah, to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
Get data to make an informed decision, same sort of thing. And then we pulled the trigger on this place, which needed a lot of work doing on it. And then we had to make a decision: do we put the money into the house, or do we go buy something, move again, and buy something that's...
Well, the house prices went up a lot, didn't they, in COVID?
Yeah.
So we could have moved and bought...
a much bigger place.
Probably not
Well,
much
newer.
bigger, but a newer place with everything done. But we would not be in this location
Yeah.
at all. We'd probably have to move another 10 miles out away from, at least another 10 miles out of the park, away from the park.
Yeah, and we're pretty close to Magic Kingdom. We're a few miles
Yeah.
from Magic Kingdom, so it's handy here for the parks. So we decided, and now we're going back sort of 2 years ago, where we decided and again, you're bringing this funnel in, funnel in. And about 2 years ago, we said, okay, we are, and again, working with the financial planner, he's like, what do you want to do when you retire? We're like, well, we want to live here. Well, where do you want to go? Well, we want to go to the theme parks that are down there. And what we came to an agreement was, well, then the place to invest, if you've got cash, is in the house, because that's where you're going to live.
Yep.
So I would say it was about 2 years ago we made the final decision that we were going to take our savings from what we got in the house in Virginia, take our savings from not paying a mortgage for years, and renovate this house. And that's what a lot of our vlogs has been around the renovation of this house. And again, it's all been about risk reduction, because if this house has had new roof, new AC, new water heater,
Everything.
basically everything in the house. Hopefully meaning that starting my retirement today, we don't have any major expenses for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
We'll have ongoing maintenance, but because everything, people ask, why have you done all this house? We could have lived in the house as it was and kept that money in the bank and hoped that we didn't need to use it.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference when I don't know, maybe it's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
When there's no money coming in, there's no way of topping it up. And if
Yeah.
you hit some major problems, will you have enough money
Yeah.
to do that? We wanted to do it while I was working, and kept working until it's just finished now, as a safety net.
Yep.
Because we didn't know what was going to happen, did
No.
we? We didn't know. So that's just our approach. That's I
just
guess our
us.
risk thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
About
we're,
not getting
we're,
to
we're
debt.
not very big gamblers, are we?
Well, people would
Overall.
say that, but we brought the whole family to the UK. But I think we make educated
Yes.
risks.
Yes.
I think we do take risks. We brought the family over here,
Yeah.
which was a big deal.
But it wasn't
Calculated.
Calculated. We could have
risk.
gone back if we'd have needed to.
Yeah. So, we kind of put the money into the house. As you saw at the beginning, we got the swimming pool done, which wasn't in the original plan. Again, we deviated because we wanted to be able to get everything done. That we no regrets. Don't live your life with regrets, and we think we would regret that even if it meant working longer. Because our original retirement schedule was for about 5 or 6 months ago.
Yeah.
That's what we planned.
6 months ago.
Yeah, and then this pool came into it, and that really pushed my retirement to today, because we didn't want to do that while we were spending money.
Yeah.
I needed the cash coming in to pay for that. We both sat down long and hard and talked about it for weeks, didn't we, about do we change the plan?
Yep.
And that's the thing you'll learn about life is you've got to be flexible, and you've got to change the plan as life events hit you, like we did.
Yes.
Delaying coming down here.
Yes. Indeed.
That's just, and that's the go forward view as well. So from the perspective of the retirement plan, we had a plan. We kind of stuck to it. We adjusted it as needed.
Yeah, just nudged it.
But have a plan.
Yeah.
If you don't have a plan, you don't have a plan. Your plan might be go around the world, travel, go backpacking, buy an RV and go
Whatever
see
the
the world.
plan
Whatever
is,
the plan is,
do it.
Yeah, we're talking to other friends who plan to do that in their retirement. They're going to buy an RV. They're going to travel around. That's great. Do what works for you, but have a plan, because you're not going to get there on day one. And the other thing as well is, when I talk about a plan is, you get medical benefits at work that we're going to have to pay for now till we get to 65. So you can bet, because we had a plan in the last 2 years, we've had every single tooth done that needed doing.
Yep.
We've had all the medical checks. We've got new pairs of glasses.
Yep.
We knew this point was coming.
All the dental stuff.
Yeah, we knew this point was coming.
Yeah.
We bought new cars
Yeah.
because, again, it's de-risking. Well, because you can't get a loan for a car if you're not employed, because they want to check you'll get a credit card even because you don't have an earnings coming in. So we've been doing everything in the last 6-12 months to be prepared for this point in time.
Yep.
And that's one thing that actually the financial planner was very impressed with, was the planning and the fact that we were ahead of the game and not like saying, hey, I'm going to retire in 3 months, now I better start planning.
Yeah.
I say we started 4 years ago and really got intense with it 2 years ago, to be able to check things off the box. This has to be done, that has to be done. And again, when you do renovations on a house, you need time to get everything done.
Yeah, well, you know how long it's taken us to do this house.
Yep.
So I think we're coming up on 16 months now.
16 months now. Yeah, we've just done the painting, we've got some carpets coming in, and we have the garage floor to do. They're the last 2 things. But we have budget for that.
Yes.
It was in the budget to do that, so we think we're going to pull the plug on it. And that brings us to point 5, which is the last point on this, which is really about taking those calculated risks. We're going to pull the plug on working, because one thing I've learned as I get older is you can always get more money, but you can't get more time. And if it really, and we're going to prepare it with the risks. We've calculated the risks as best as possible.
Yeah.
Life could change, something could change, it's like something could happen tomorrow, and that could change the whole dynamic, where one of us has to go back to work. We may have to sell one of the cars, but again, we put that in the plan, just in case. Just in case. That's why we're keeping 2 cars at the moment. We may have to sell a car, but take the calculated risk. And again, it's a psychological thing of, I've got no money in, I'm now taking savings out, I have nothing coming in,
and it's going down,
and it's going down and down and down. But I have the financial planner who's done a very robust planning model, and is talking to me and giving me the confidence that, don't worry, you're good to go, go now, enjoy life. The second thing is, we've tried to de-risk as much as possible the house and our lives, and like we got 2 visits back to the UK this year with family, but we paid that off already. Other things that we know, and the last month we've been renegotiating phone plans, internet plans, killing apps that we don't. You'd be surprised. You want to go and look how many apps you've got that you don't use.
It costs you a fortune.
It costs you a fortune until you realise, till you're looking at your outgoing and your ingoing. Now, we're not going to scrimp and save. We're not going to be kind of, we're still going to go out and enjoy things, but we're going to...
You mean like coffee?
Like coffee, yeah. We will go out and have a Starbucks once a month when I have all the ads that are coming, all the money coming in for the ads. But we're going to enjoy life, because there's no point if you're doing it if you can't enjoy life. But we're also under no preconception that the stock market could crash tomorrow, and our savings could go down, and we're going to have to adjust our plan based on how things go at the end of the day, aren't we? So we have a plan, and we're going to track it. We're not going to track it hourly and every day on a spreadsheet, but every month we'll kind of, and actually won't need to track it, because the financial planner has that tool. I have all my bank accounts and credit cards linked to that, and we can see what we spend every month and what we spend it on. And if we have to tweak back on a few things, we might do. Also, we put like a budget for going on holiday, and we're talking about doing a big holiday next year, bigger than we normally do. But if we do that, we might not do one the year after, because this is it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Life is, it's a journey, not an event. So you've got to understand that hopefully this money and our plan that we've got now at 58 is going to get us through another 30 years. So it's not, it's not like that. So we may spend more money one year, but then you balance it up by spending next year. And if the stock market goes down one year, you might not draw from those funds. And you might, we always they always recommend having like a year to 2 years worth of cash, what you would spend annually in your plan, as backup, and we may lean into the cash. And then when the market goes up, you can replenish your cash from your savings, from your 401ks and all that type of stuff. So there we are. Those are the 5 things that have helped me and us in our 42-year career to be able to try retirement at 58 and keep track. We'll keep some blogs going and see how we're doing. And those 5 things, just a reminder, are get a pensions as soon as you can and maximise as much as you can. Number 2, no debt as much as you can. There will be times of debt in your life, but pay it off as quickly as possible. Number 3, a financial planner. So get a good financial planner to help you understand how far away you are from your goals. Are you here? Are you here? And if you do that even earlier than I did, into my 50s, it gives you time to make changes and compensate for it. Number 4 is have a plan. And I know that's going to be different for different people.
Yeah.
But as you're getting towards that 40, 50-year-old age, start thinking about
what you want to do.
What do you want to do? What I want to do in retirement? What do I want to see in the world? And then the final one, of course, is risks. There are risks, and it's there's a lot of people really, especially on retirement. I've watched a lot of vlogs on YouTube of people who've really struggled with retirement because they work in factories, they have the whole social scene, they kind of come home, and then it's a whole different world. Where for us, because I've been working from home, it's really not.
No.
It's just we'll now have more time to join you in the parks, and you send me pictures every week. Maxine's a home keeper.
I wish I was every week.
Well, you know what I mean? We'll be able to go and enjoy the things that have been at our door that we really Monday to Friday haven't been able to do. So that again was part of the plan. So I hope this has been informative and interesting to folks. And if you've got any questions, again in more detail, we're quite open to share some stuff. So drop some comments below. Tell us what you think. Ask us your questions. If you like the vlog, please like and subscribe. It does help your channel. So stay tuned. We will give you more updates on the retirement story as we go forward.
Yes.
The next one we might be doing is...
you might be working again.
You might be working
You're under
again.
my feet.
Yeah. Or we might be sending all those GoFundMes. Yeah. Well, there might be an advert every 30 seconds on a vlog, which means, But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.